Dr. Rachel Hannam is a psychologist with North Brisbane Psychologists. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Ashwin. How are you?
I'm good, thank you as well. How bad was it for you yesterday and the last couple of days?
Oh, I'm on the north side of Brisbane, kind of in an elevated position. So I've just got a very messy yard, but no big branches down and a bit of water coming in the house. Yeah, it was pretty windy last night, but I'm doing okay compared to some people. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I was just saying earlier to Kat Davidson, I haven't been home for a few days because we've been doing some emergency broadcasting from a hotel and at a different location. So I've been doing that the last few days. So I will probably go home tomorrow and see how bad it was.
Yeah, it's bit messy out there.
Yes. Now, we are talking to Rachel, who is a psychologist and who can share some tips for you to get through, especially if you've been badly affected. If you haven't been too badly affected, perhaps it might not seem as strong, but if you have been isolated and you've been without power for a number of days and you're getting a little bit stir-crazy inside, it might be good to get some tips. So, Rachel, where should we start? What are some of the main issues that you'd like to address for people out there that they might be going through?
Well, I mean, weather is outside of our control, right? There's very little we can do. We can prepare, we can follow the instructions given by the authorities. That's obviously very sensible. But apart from that, we need to wait it out. We need to ride it out. We all have chosen to, for adults, to live in Brisbane, which is a subtropical place. And I guess it's wise for us to expect that we will see this weather from time to time. So sort of manage our expectations around this and the weather is out of our control. It's kind of a good metaphor for other things in life.
Right, okay, so just get comfortable with the fact that you can't control everything. And that's been a theme of some of the calls, that they live on Mount Tamborine or Perigian Beach, yes. But at a time like this, it's not such a good place. So there is a price to pay sometimes living somewhere lovely.
Yeah, there really is. I've got friends who live up at Brighton, Sandgate and Redcliffe, and they've had trees down and, they get these lovely ocean breezes, but this is the exposure is the price that they pay. So, the research shows that we're more likely to get PTSD from interpersonal and relational trauma than we are from natural disasters. And I think that's because we expect other people to help us and we innately hope that other human beings will encourage us and be supportive of us. That's how we come into the world. But I think we know intuitively that, Mother Nature can do her own thing. And so, interestingly, the research is that we're much less likely to get post-traumatic stress disorder from a natural disaster. And, we saw with the floods in 2022 that people came together to help each other. And some people were spurred into action to go out there and, give a hand and donate or do what they could to help other people, help their communities. And I think that's why, because we can do something at some point.
Let me put a question to you for it, because this is a slightly complicated area, Rachel. And if you've got a question for Rachel, you can text it if you like. If you don't want to talk to her, you can just text it through 0467 922 612, as someone has. They write, I've been feeling anxious. Work is saying to treat tomorrow as, normal day, but the meteorologist said, be vigilant. It's very confusing and anxiety-inducing. I don't think, the employers are thinking about safety, just getting back to normal. So for some people, being vigilant can cause them to panic a little bit. So how would you approach being vigilant?
That's a case-by-case basis, really, isn't it? I've been looking on the Queensland traffic website myself to see which roads are closed and if I can get to my desired destinations. And if I can, I figure, well, I will. But I'm certainly not driving through floodwaters because they say not to do that. I think in the end people do need to put their own safety first. And it is a confusing time. The person who texted in is right. We're being told differing information. So I think do your own research and be as you need to. If you think it's too dangerous to go in to work or wherever, make your own decisions about that.
Well, that's part of also taking back some power, that you at least have the power to make decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Another person has texted, I feel very isolated. I have lost power. I'm alone with my dogs. My family has grouped up with each other, but no one has come to me. I can't get on the internet. I don't know when my power will come back on. I'm feeling depressed. Any advice for someone in that position?
Okay, it's my heart goes out to that listener, and I'm never a proponent of toxic positivity, as you know, Ashwin. I think our feelings are valid, and if we're feeling lonely, if we're feeling scared or anxious, isolated, those feelings are real. And so I want to say self-care, 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 and play the long game, and look at what you still got, and remember that this too shall pass. All of those helpful thought, challenging kind of strategies. But I don't want to deny people's feelings that it would be the toxic positivity. It's understandable that people are feeling, upset, lonely, anxious. So, that's suffering, that they're forms of suffering. So self-compassion is really important at this time, to open up your heart to yourself as you would to another person.
Okay.
And also remember, it will be okay. This will pass.
Be good to yourself. And also, tough times are also an opportunity to help others and do some good, which can also be good for your own self-worth, can't it?
It absolutely is. The research shows that altruism and volunteering is very good for our mental health. If you're stuck inside right now, it's pretty hard to do anything now, but you could start thinking of what can I do next week, to help out if there's any opportunities for such things.
Okay, some positive messages to leave us with. Before you go, anything else you'd like to leave people listening in who might be doing it a bit tough after no power for the last 4 days?
Yeah, look, I think remember that you're not alone. It can feel very much like you are when you're isolated, but there are tens of thousands of people in southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales going through this right now. And, you're not in this alone. There's many of us. Well, we're all in this together, aren't we, this weather event?
We are. And that's what I'm trying to do on the program tonight, as the other presenters have been, just to try and bring people together with their stories and conversation. And you've added to it tonight as well with your insights, Rachel. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Ashwin.